Welcome back to the podcast. I wish I knew what number this was, and I tell you, I think we're around, 12, 11, 37, 13. Maybe we're at 13, somewhere around there. But anyways, welcome back. We took a week or two off because we were busy and didn't have time to record anything. But thank you guys for checking back in with us. Before we move on, make sure you check out all of our gear at www.risenfly.com. You can check us out on all of our social media pages. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then you can check out all the info on also on our YouTube channel. So these podcasts do go on there as well. And then we have information through our email accounts and then on our website as well. So today, just gonna kind of talk, as we've had a fly shop open for about 18 months now, about the different kinds of people that you meet in a shop. So looking back on a year and a half, we've definitely had a wide variety of personality walk into our store. And it's funny from us, from the employee standpoint, we enjoy everybody walking in, but there's definitely some people that make us kind of laugh a little bit more than others. So kind of give some general descriptions out there. If this is one of you, just enjoy us talking about you. So I would say we'll kind of start with one end of the spectrum, the chatty Cathy. So we've got some people that come into the shop and they just talk your ear off for forever. And some of them it's great, and others it's great. So we've got some people, they'll come in and they'll just talk about how their fishing was, or talk about some flies that they tie, or talk about their whole day on the water. And, a half an hour goes by, and then 45 minutes goes by, and then some other customers come in, and those customers leave, and that person's still there. Hour goes by. I think our record right now is 2.5 hours for one customer sitting there talking to us. So it's... it's fun in the meantime, but it's just kind of funny that some people just love coming in and chatting, and that's kind of what the shop is all about. I've kind of teased with some other people who ask about the shop, and I said sometimes the fly shop's kind of like a hair salon. People just come in and have a seat and talk about everything about who they are and what they're doing and what they think, and kind of like women sitting down for an hour and a half, 2 hours getting their hair did. So the chatty Cathys, we got a handful of them that come in here. Some of them are quite regular, and they just love sitting down and chatting with us. Then on the opposite end of the spectrum, you've got like the Jay and Silent Bobs. So you got people that'll come in, you'll be like, "Hey, can I help you out?" And they're like, "Nope." And they walk around the store for a little while, and they pick up a couple things and come up to the register and buy them and walk out. And, when we look at, the whole purpose for me in opening the shop was to get a place where people can kind of hold on to our stuff and test cast it and check it out in person and help out the local community, and just teaching about fly fishing and making sure we're a wealth of information for everybody. And then occasionally you get those people that come in, they've got one job to do, and that's just buy a couple things and walk out the door. So those people, their average time in the shop's about 2.5 minutes compared to the 2.5 hours that the chatty Cathys have. So those people, they just, like I said, they know what they want. They've got a little list sometimes. They check it off. They buy things. They walk out the door, and, they're back in next month. So those are some of the two personalities that we see in. Sometimes we get the know-it-alls that come in. This reminds me of that character on the Polar Express on the train that gives all the details about the train that he's on, and kid calls him a know-it-all. But yeah, they come in and they think that they're talking to somebody who doesn't know about anything about fly fishing. Oh yeah, you need to do this and you need to do that, and that's how you tie this, and that's how you do this, and this is how you do that. And, oh yeah, you need to learn how to tie a knot like that. Like I don't know how to do any of that. It just makes me laugh when I get people that come in here and, they just know everything. They've done everything. They've been on every trip possible, every location. They fished every stream. They know every hatch, and they just kind of walk through here, and it's like the Me Monster. I don't know if anybody knows Brian Regan, one of my favorite comedians, and he's got a skit about he wishes he was someone one of the people that walked on the moon. So after you've got all these me monsters, oh, I did this, I did that. He's like, yeah, I walked on the moon. And sometimes there's a few people that have come in over the past year and a half, and they're just all about me. I've done this, I've done this. So those people, sometimes I wish those were the silent Bobs at times. Then I've got the regulars that come in here. So we'll talk about some of them. We've got some people that they're in the shop every week or two. And there's some guys that walk in. Like I had one of my regulars last week, and he was talking about this freshwater shrimp pattern in the Great Lakes. And he said, oh, they're pretty popular in some of the other ones. I don't know about Erie. He's like, this is kind of the pattern. So he grabbed a couple things, and then a couple days later, he popped into the shop and handed me a couple flies that he tied. He's like, oh, that's what I'm talking about. So it's kind of neat. I told him, which I haven't done yet, I said, oh, I'll give a spin of that pattern on by myself and give you a couple and see which ones catch fish. And he actually said he was up in Erie last week and caught a steelhead on that pattern. So that's pretty neat. But yeah, some of our regulars, they come in, and sometimes they just pop in to say hi and spend $5 and walk out the door. And other days they're, oh, let me tell you about my trip. You helped me do this. You helped me do that. And we had a great time up there and caught these fish and sharing pictures. And, you know, their weekly visit to the fly shop kind of comes through. And then you've got some of the really regular customers. I don't know if you know anybody about like this, but yeah, that was a good pun. We got a local guy who, in the middle of the winter, when his business that he has is a little slow, he was here 3 days a week. He'd pop in and help himself to an adult beverage in the back and sit down on the chair and figure out a few packages of tying material to tie some flies up. And sometimes he'd bring his vise in and he'd tie some flies and talk about this and talk about that. And it was, he's kind of a combination of almost everything. You know, he's a chatty Cathy. He comes in all the time. We've fished a little bit. We need to do a little bit more fishing together. But he's very much a regular. I send a lot of people to his business. He sends a lot of people to my business. So those regulars that come in, it's always nice to see them. And then you got the regulars that they're here every week, and you know what they want. They're kind of like, well, I ran out of jig hooks and slotted tungsten beads. I said, oh, you need some more, you know, number 12 hooks and size 3.5 millimeter gold beads, right? Yep, that's what I need. So it's just funny, the creatures of habit that come through here, that I know exactly what they tie. I know where they're fishing. I know what they like. And I pretty much walk in the door. I'm like, oh, you need some of this, don't you? Guy comes in and like wipes half of the wall of marabou off every time he comes in. I was like, oh, we got some new colors for you. Oh, that's great. So it's kind of fun. Those regulars that sometimes they ask for these obscure things. I always joke about the one guy that comes in. He always wants something off the wall. He's like, I want the belly of a mountain lion for this fly that I'm trying to tie here. And I need it in green and natural and fluorescent pink as well. Like, he always has these obscure things that he wants to tie. And then he ties one of them, and I was like, why don't you just tie a dozen of those? Because then you'll have some if you lose one. But yeah, the personalities are in a wide range as you run through the shop. And then you've got, there's been videos that have been done on this topic over the years, but you got the guy that just wants to handle everything. He wants to, you know, give the old rod wiggle test to every single rod in the shop and wants to test cast them all and, you know, wants to see this reel and wants to, wants to make sure that this is all going to work out. And you've got some of those people that come in and like, okay, after I've cast 7 different rods, this is the one I want. And you've got the people that, I've cast 7 different rods, and then they walk out empty-handed. So it's funny. I laugh. I was talking to a guy in the marketing business about closing ratios, and they're like, "Oh, online you have X% of people that come onto your website that purchase." And I said, and most of the people that he was dealing with were just online. And I said, when you look in person, it's like 99%. There's very few people that walk into a fly shop. They don't have intention to buy anything. So when we look at our shop and the people that are walking in, we're always saying hello. We're always trying to help people out. And the different personalities are fun. I think one of my favorite is the unknowing spouse. So you get these women that come in looking for their husbands, especially as we're coming close to holiday shopping season, and they're like, I don't know what a green weenie is, but he needs some of those. And we just kind of chuckle, and you've got all these obscure things here in the shop that things like fly patterns. I always joke that the people that make big articulated streamers aren't right in the head when you've got names like Butt Monkey and Slump Busters and Sex Dungeons and Peanut Envies and all these crazy things, and you get someone that walks in and says, hey, my husband said he needs half a dozen butt monkeys. You just laugh and you put them in a bag for her and have them walk out the door. But it's always funny when the completely clueless spouse comes in trying to look for something, and they're like, I have a list, but I don't know what any of this stuff is. I don't know what it does. I don't know what it's used for. This is just what's on his list. So it's always funny to do that and help those people out as well. But yeah, go ahead in the comments section and tell some stories about people maybe you were in a fly shop with, or what you do, or if you own a shop or another type of business, some of the fun customer stories that you've had over the years. But it's been fun in 18 months of seeing all these different personalities walk through the door. And you've got a wide range of experience too. You've got the person that walks in that says, I have no idea what this is. I saw somebody doing it. I watched a river runs through it. I don't know. It looks like fun. I need help. And then you've got the guy who, has been fly fishing for 40 years, and you give them this little tidbit of information as they walk in. They're like, I would have never thought about that before. That sounds great. Whether it's tying a fly differently, or a different leader setup, or, something different in terms of presentation and drift and, these minute details. So it's fun having this wide range of customers walking through the door that we're able to help out, and then the personalities that they have besides that. So I'm just laughing as I'm thinking through some of these people that have walked through the shop in the last 18 months, and the stories that we tell about it, and then the regulars that come in, and then you have very few horror stories over the years, but it's still fun to look back on all those. So that's it. I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to us talk about, me, talk about the different people that walk into a fly shop and some of the stories that we've had. If you like this and any of our other podcasts that we put through, make sure you subscribe to the channel and the media outlet that you're on. We've tried to expand to a few other places, so most of the places on your devices that do podcasts, we've got availability of listening to ours on there. And then if you haven't listened to it there, we have them streamed through Podbean and then on our YouTube channel, and then we also have a link on our website as well that you can check everything out. So we hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you guys again for listening. We will catch you next week, same time, same place. Have a great day.